What's up, guys? Back with another render reboot tutorial. I'm going to show you exactly what did I get wrong in this rendering. Let's get right to the video. Okay, so at first glance, this rendering looks pretty good, right? And I had to ask myself, how can I make this rendering better? What did I get wrong in this rendering? And there may be other things that I'm not seeing that you guys may see. And guys, comment down below and let me know. But in the meantime, don't forget to hit that like bell for me and hit the subscribe button. All right. So the first thing I want to point out what I've got wrong is the sky. Right now, this rendering is a day render. But just kind of looking back at some of the elements and some of the things that I put into this rendering, and you can see the road is wet. So it looks like that it's been raining, and immediately you look at the sky and it's daytime. So that is a red flag. And how we're going to fix that is we're going to choose a different HDRI. Okay. So we can go to the search bar here and to type in overcast. Okay, so immediately we get a different variety of HDRIs we can use to our advantage to get that look that we're looking for. And I want to do a overcast, so I will do the MOAF overcast 3, drag that onto our viewport. So now immediately you see the big difference in our rendering. And it actually looks like it correlates what we're trying to portray in our rendering. Okay, so for our HDRI, we can make some adjustments to our intensity, our rotation. Let's make some adjustments to our rotation. Let's do 275. Okay. So that looks good to me. All right. And you may ask yourself, all right, what else did we get wrong in this render? Well, here, my lights, I think they look decent. And these lights came from Twinmotion library here. And of course, we had a different variety. I used the IES 28 and I added one here and I duplicated that light and I added another one above it to give it that effect that I was looking for. And it's not so much what I got wrong, I just think that they are a little bright. So let's make some adjustments there. So I'm going to select all of our lights, and right now here we go to intensity. It's at 0.10. Let's lower them down just a little bit. Right. That adjusted our intensity and our brightness of our lights. And here you can change the attenuation. So our attenuation, you can see the guidelines here. And what that does is we can choose to drop the lights to reach more so the sidewalk here, or we can raise them up to go further. I'm gonna keep them the way they are. You can also adjust the color temperature here. So I do want to change my color temperature. So we can keep it warm, or we can raise it up here and change that to more of a white light. So So I want my lights to be a little bit less warm. So and it's just a little bit of adjustment there. Okay. So now let's step back and see our results. Okay, that looks good. So our lights do not look as bright, and we can make some more adjustments. We can argue that they can be a little brighter, but I think they're fine there. Okay, so I'm going to rename my scene instead of day render. Let's call it overburst. Okay, so now that we have that, what is another thing that we need to change in this rendering to make it better, or what was exactly wrong with this rendering? So as you can see, I have parallax windows, different types in this front facade here, and it's really at the corner, and I have retail here at the bottom, and I think that they look good for the most part. And I did add some in different places around the building. And the idea was to make this building look active at a certain time. And I didn't want to have all the windows to be dark. I wanted to show some movement when I added some of the characters or some of the scale figures to the rendering. And that's exactly what I did. So some of them, as you can see, they're turned on, and here they show. So we're not gonna get too much into it, but you can always click your parallax windows here, and just like I did the lights, you can select multiple and you can adjust that exposure here. So as you can see, the brighter the exposure, you can see that they come on, and you can change the tint and you can change the texture. So right here we're at daytime, so you can change the nighttime dusk to dawn, night simulation, and you can also change the size as well. So I'm gonna make the exposure at 5.00, and you see what it looks like. So that looks a little better, maybe a little bright. Okay, so that looks better to me. So now it looks like the lighting is a little better, a little brighter, and it looks like there is some activity going on each level. And one of the things that you want to do is you don't want to brighten all the windows. You want to give it some variety, and that will give you a more realistic look and a more realistic feel. Okay, so let's go to FX. So I had to ask myself, what else could I have gotten wrong in this rendering? And I would like to say that the building image looks good, the composition looks good in my opinion, but the clarity and the sharpness is way too much. So let's make adjustments there. So for clarity, I have it 60%, set it at 35%, and my sharpness, I have it at 25%, sharpness at 10%. So that way our building doesn't look too sharp, it looks animated, and the less sharpness and less clarity, it will not give our image, our rendering such a rigid look. And you can definitely balance this out. So use your discretion. You can definitely play around with these settings to get the results that you're looking for. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button for me and hit the subscribe button. All right, so everything else looks pretty good to me. We can make some adjustments here. So for our beginning is at 25%. Let's make that 35%. Let's darken our image just a little bit more. Okay, so I think already our image has improved. And you may find other things that you guys feel like I could improve in this image, or some of the things that you feel like I'm wrong in this rendering. Let me know in the comments, and I'm going to show you in the next video how I added the background to this image using AI, Korea AI that is. So stick around, got plenty more videos coming through, and I hope you learned something today. We'll be back with another one.